WHDailyNews.com.
Peterson Insurance Services in Clinton is a 2014 Pekin Insurance Illinois Agency of the Year. Jay Peterson here from Peterson Insurance. Find out about Pekin's auto, home, or life insurance by clicking on our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio this morning is Rennie Cluver, Executive Director of the Clinton YMCA. Good to see you, Rennie, and Happy New Year.
Great to be here. Thank you, Seth.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. And how has your health and wellness journey for 25 started out?
I'm glad you asked this, and this is not... This is just one, I always talk about goals, and obviously I work at the Y, so sometimes it's maybe easier for me. You would think it'd be easier for me to find time to work out. Mm-hmm. Not always the case, but one thing I did this month is I really was focusing on trying to get away from eating processed foods. Mm-hmm. And I am amazed. Now, it's not, I really limited it. There's some things that are like, I'm going to treat myself. I've been doing so well, but the inflammation that I just thought was normal in my elbows and things when I was working out, gone.
Yeah. You doing the carnivore diet? Is that what you're doing?
No, and I've done that before. I did that last year for, 14 days. It's rough. I mean, I saw a lot of benefits into it, but as far as losing weight, I didn't need it for that. And again, this processed food had nothing to do like I needed to lose a few pounds. I feel like I'm in my fighting weight. I feel good. I just feel so much better without eating processed foods. Gut health, inflammation in the joints.
Yeah. What are you eating, if you don't mind me asking then?
So a lot of it is, and I still am doing fasting a lot, at least 3 or 4 days a week. I switch it up because I always want to
keep your body guessing.
I want to keep it guessing.
Yeah.
And so I will eat a lot of protein. Mm-hmm. And so let's say if I was going to eat breakfast, it would be something protein. It could be bacon and eggs, sausage and eggs. And then lunch, I will eat, again, protein. If it was leftover chicken from the night before, the one, I'll limit the carbs, which is a lot of processed food, but maybe I'll put it in a corn tortilla with some peppers on top of it. Or maybe the one day last week I was like, you know what, I didn't have breakfast, so I'm going to have breakfast for lunch. So I cooked up some eggs, and then in the evening, same thing, try to another good protein, vegetables, healthier ideas. Now, they're obviously like mashed potatoes. That is a processed food, but I'm not. It's a lot of. I've noticed how much I've gotten away from the sugar. Going to the pantry, which there's nothing good in the pantry typically. But ooh, I love those Ruffled chips or those Cool Ranch Doritos. Not going to do it.
Not going to do it, man. The discipline you have to avoid that, my friend, is unbelievable.
It's tough.
And I know we'll talk about kind of if you've started on that health and wellness journey to keep at it. We'll do that later. But I want to get into something you were telling me before we got started. You do this annually. You go in and you basically break down the numbers and the data at the YMCA. Tell me about this report, Rennie. What goes into it? What's it all about?
Yes, and I guess we're kind of. I don't want to say pushed, but we are, YUSA wants us, they want this information from every Y in the nation so that they can put together their report of how much nationally the Ys are doing and helping kids with this or after school care, summer camp, all this, they want to put the numbers because they are out applying for grants and, donors to help with the organization nationally. Well, so we do the same thing at a smaller scale. And like I was telling you, I really enjoy it. It's a lot of work. But once I get into it, it's hard for me to get away from it because as we go through a typical year, starting right now, we got youth basketball programming. I can't tell you how many kids are really right in youth basketball. I've got an idea. But when I get to the end of the year and I can look at the map of, gosh, this is how many kids we had in youth sports, or this is how many campers we had in camp. This is how many members attended this. And look at all the events that we did, the sprint try and all this stuff. And you sit there and go, man, I know we have an impact every day on people because I'm there and I see people come in, but we don't always stop and celebrate the wins. And we probably should do that more throughout the year. But I think with the staff that we have and the board too, it's like, this is great. What's the next thing we can do to impact? We've only got 365 days in this year, and we want to make it, we don't want to spend too much time praising ourselves.
Right.
But, so our mission, it makes me feel good about our mission and our vision into the future of, we're doing a lot of things right. We're making a big impact on a large number of people in DeWitt County.
What were the highlights of some of your data points this year?
Well, this one really, so this year, for whatever reason, I was like, instead of just comparing this year in 2024 to the previous year, I'm going to go back to 2021. Kind of, the COVID had kind of was on its way out, and things were starting to, everything was starting to get back to normal. And so here's one statistic that I was very surprised about. I knew it was there because I've talked about it before with you. Our senior membership, so people 65 and older, in 2021, we had 100 members, which that was an increase from the previous year and the previous year. I mean, I can remember of having like 65, 68 senior members. And then it got to 100. It's like, wow. In 2024, we had 185. That's an 85% increase in those years. That tells you a lot. And I was thinking about it actually this morning when I was getting ready. It's the term, I guess, would have wished. How many times I hear that from that population, like, or wish I would have, wish I would have started this earlier. Wish I would have. How many times do we say that? And we're not 65. Wish I would have done this at a younger age. I wish I would have made this a part of my life when I was working 40 hours a week and not retired, because it's made my life so much better. I can't tell that enough just based on the numbers. Like, they get it. Because once you get to that age, it's not easy. And you think it's hard now with the busy schedule and chasing the kids and doing all this stuff. I can't make health and wellness a priority because I got all these other things that's a priority. I mean, ask these people. I'm like, hey, and it doesn't have to be, and we can talk about this at the end too. It doesn't have to be huge. It could be, I'm going to get up 10 minutes early and I'm going to drink a 16 fluid ounce of water every day to start my day. I'm going to start with that. That doesn't sound like a big commitment, but 10 minutes early. Then all of a sudden you go, okay, now I'm going to do 15 minutes. I'm going to drink that water and I'm going to get on the floor and do some stretches for 7 minutes. You do that for a while. If that's as far as you get, that's a big accomplishment. If you can continue to do that and make it to where it's a habit and it's a lifestyle. So those people, they see it and they get it. So overall though, our membership right now, we are knocking at the door at 2,000 members. And I think we'll get there pretty soon.
2,000 members, that's
2,000
incredible.
members in a community of 7,000 people. Now, we do get from Waynesville and DeWitt and our surrounding areas, but what's the DeWitt County was 10,500
You're talking about a
people.
fifth of the county. 1 in 5 people in the county, a part of the WHOW. That's amazing.
A third in Clinton alone. That's a huge impact. And there's WHYs that I'll go to that are a lot bigger, and I'll go to these big meetings with CEOs, and I talk about the penetration rate at the Clinton WHY, and they're like, oh my gosh, like we can't even get close to those numbers.
Wow.
And so, but the downside of that is growth. I mean, how much more growth can we expect in a small WHY where you've already seen about 2,000 people? So,
well, you still got 8,000 to reach, Rennie.
Yeah.
So.
That's our goal. It's our mission is to continue to put that mission out there about health and wellness and how important it is, and that we're there for them. I think some other highlights were fundraising. Our annual Strong Kids campaign, and this number doesn't actually include everything, but we had over $92,000 in our campaign. Our goal is 100. But that I don't want to mislead anyone. We actually made in our fundraising more than that, because and I put this together, so we had just in regular donations, so people that would donate that it necessarily they don't say it has to go just to Strong Kids, but that's really where it goes, was $10,797. So you add that to that 92.
So you reached your 100,000 threshold.
Yes. And then special events, which, and you always talk to me at Apple and Pork, where's this money's earmarked? It's really not earmarked. It's just, it's going to help us. We're going to give out 130,000 in scholarship. So whatever we make at special events is going to help cover some of that we know we won't get from our annual campaign. Special events raised over 32,000.
Oh, nice.
So
wow.
That is,
I always wonder about those things, how well they do for the Y.
Well, and Apple and Pork generally, if we can net over 8,000, 8 to 10, that's a great year. And so so we had other events where we total raised 32,000 plus, and so that's just great. I love seeing that, and that's something that we need to keep us going. The scholarship program.
Yeah.
So where does that money go? What are some of the numbers there? In programming alone, and this is youth programming, so Y Zone, summer camp, swim lessons, tumbling, youth sports, over $23,000 that we gave out for kids to participate in that. Membership scholarships was over $110,000. So you put those two together, we're right at that $130,000. And I don't even keep track of the amount we give to local organizations to utilize the Y for if it's a meeting or
Program.
Yes, collaborations. That YUSA really wants me to keep track of that. They was like, we need to know how much you're giving out besides just the dollars in scholarships. And so if we allow the Girl Scouts use our community room a couple times a month, 3 times a month.
You've got that jujitsu program that
no
you do.
charge.
Yeah.
Now karate, we give them a really good deal on the rental.
Oh, okay.
But Girl Scouts, no, that's it's another non-for-profit we want to give back. We the Boy Scouts use our pool, and so there's all these girls' high school dance team uses our every Monday from 3 to 5:30 uses our gym floor, and so there's a lot of things that we're doing that aren't even in these numbers, and I'm not going to strain on it. You know what? It's just what we do. That's part of our mission.
Right. So you talked about giving, roughly 130, 135, 140,000 in scholarships. Where does the Y make money then, Rennie?
Operationally, we rely on our programming because we don't get federal aid. There's occasionally we'll apply for a grant and get a grant to help with, say, our after school program, and that may be a couple $1,000s, maybe up to $5,000. It's just we rely on our program and membership, membership dues, and we had a great 2024. I mean, revenue was it was over $1 million. We've never been that way before.
Wow, that's great.
And that's not with us raising prices 30% like a lot of places did. That is just people understanding the importance in our mission, and we're hitting more people, and we're retaining more people in our programs and memberships. And so we're always looking at trying to do that.
Do you have numbers for things like Y Zone, Camp Osage, youth sports, and how those compare to years past?
Well, right here I've got Camp Osage, which is our camp here, pre-K camp, and then Monticello's camp. 263 kids. That's a record enrollment for us.
Is it really?
Yeah. So that's a lot of kids and if you look throughout the year, some of them are coming 5 days a week, some of them 2 days, some of them 3. There's a lot of impact that we're getting to these kids when they're home for the summer, they're away, or even after school. I believe I have to look at my numbers here I may not have it specifically. I know I wrote it down someplace as far as kids in Y Zone. I would say that we're pretty close to that same number. There's at least 100 some that are here in Clinton and 100 some that are in Monticello.
I always forget about Monticello too, the programming over there. So yeah, very good, man. Anything else on those numbers, the data that we didn't touch on that stood out to you this year, Rennie?
Just overall, and this includes youth programming, adult programming, aquatics, and this doesn't even include wellness, where our group exercise classes that over 1,600 people, and really that's really low. It's over 2,000 people that have participated, because I don't even have all that being non-members. Let's take the sprint triathlon, for instance.
Yeah.
I mean, we had 70 plus girls that participated in that, and they brought their families. I mean, really, according to YUSA, they participated in your program. I mean, I can't tell you how many people we had there. I mean, that alone probably put us over 2,000 people.
Yeah.
That the Y in Clinton has made an impact.
What do you do a breakdown of like people that come in and utilize the wellness center, those land fitness classes, the gym? Do you like, what's an average day at the Y look like from that perspective?
Yeah, and Gretchen does a good job, because anytime you take a class, you're asked to sign in at upstairs, and so she keeps track of those. I can look at total number of members that have a fit card or a aqua card, so we know. There may be 85 people that every month are getting their fit card. So because they want to take classes. Now, do all 85 participate every month, or some? I mean, Gretchen would have those breakdown numbers, and same thing with aqua size. Now, I look at it through the revenue side, because we have on our P&L, we have a place where it's fit cards. So I know generally an average month what fit cards will. When I see it go above what we've estimated, then usually it's either new membership is increased, or people are starting to want to try classes.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, that's a good segue to encourage people to try new classes. Let's do that on the other side of the break, Rennie. Best place for folks to learn about all things Clinton YMCA.
Check us out. Come to our facility or get us on the website. We have all that stuff updated on our website.
Very good. Rennie Cluver, Executive Director of the Clinton Y, our guest in studio. More to come with Rennie on The Morning Show.
WHOW.
Exclusive benefits. Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. No trading on this Monday, federal holiday, the Martin Luther King Jr. Day observance. Corn, beans, and wheat finishing Friday higher. March corn 4.84 1/4, up 9 3/4. May corn up a dime, 4.93. July corn 4.94 1/4, up 8 1/4. March beans closing 10.34, up 15. May beans up 13 1/4, 10.44 3/4. July beans up 12 1/2, 10.55 1/4. March Chicago wheat closing 5.38 3/4, up 1 1/4. May wheat up 1 1/4, 5.50 3/4. March bean meal up 2.80, 2.97.20. March bean oil 45.69, up 66 cents. Livestock market from Friday, January feeders 273.50, up a nickel. February live cattle up 15 cents, 196.75. February lean hogs 81.12, down $1.17. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio.
If the flu's got you down, the Warner Hospital and Health Services Walk-In Clinic inside Family Medicine can help you feel better fast. CEO Paul Skowron inviting you to make us your backup plan to better health. Find out more by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Rennie Cluver, Executive Director of the Clinton Y, in studio with us today. And Rennie, let's wrap things up again, talking about that kind of New Year fitness goal. And we have either passed or we are kind of at that point where, you set out that New Year's resolution and gosh, it's 3 weeks into the year. This is where those things start to fall off. How about that?
Yep, I'm sure there may be a lot of people out there that had great intentions and time energy, the weather, whatever excuse we want to make.
Sickness.
Yes, got away from us, and gosh, I can't keep my New Year's goals. And a lot of people are in that same boat. What I want people to understand is don't give up, right? Take baby steps. You'll be amazed. It does take some time, but don't just give up because, I was going to spend this many hours, like Survivor that we're doing the program, which kind of gets you trying to get to the wellness center, do some form of exercise every day. It's tough. It's tough to get to, I got to get 2 hours now, or I got to get 3 hours. Don't beat yourself up when you don't. It's good to have those goals and set them high, but if you don't reach them, give yourself some leeway, but don't give up, because you're going to feel worse about giving up than, you know what, maybe I need to be more realistic with my goals. I'm not going to get 3 hours of exercise in this week, but I can control this. What you can control, you got to look at your life and your schedule and your routines and go look at what can I control. I can't control that I have to pick up my child at school and take them to piano lessons. That, I'm going to do that. I have to do that. So I can't fit exercise in there. So look at what you can control. And if wellness and health and wellness is part of it, you have to make it a priority.
Yeah. I want you to, real fast, if you don't mind, speak to your land fitness classes and the community that is a part of those, because I know you lead those. You lead one or two of those, and I'm sure you see it. Speak to that a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yes. Group exercise was never my style. I wanted to go to the weight room, do my workout. There'd be other people there. I didn't mind working out with people, but as far as recruiting me to go do a group exercise, I was not part of it. Once I became the director, this is probably when I became a director, I was still the same way. I went and tried the classes because I wanted to see what it was like. And I was like, gosh, I could see myself getting more involved. Well, then Gretchen asked me to instruct. And so we do Les Mills. We got tons of classes for our small Y that, we do offer a lot. If you can't find a time to do it, and now, gosh, you can go up there and use the video with our Les Mills demand that we have. So great. For a little while, we do a lot with group exercise and offer a lot. There's not too many people around here, gyms, that even offer Les Mills. So please get on our website and look what we've got. Come in. You can try a class. Gosh, I think you can try any class for free to see if it's something that you like.
But don't do it just once.
Right.
Do it a couple times.
And what you'll find out is the community that you talk about, those people, everybody's at their own health. And they're, gosh, I need to lose 20 pounds, or this person doesn't need to lose any weight, or it's only 5 pounds, or this person here. But everyone is so community driven. You'll almost feel it's easier to be in group exercise because you'll have some accountability
and look forward to it.
Yeah,
very good. Rennie, well said. Where do folks go to learn about land fitness classes, or start that health and wellness journey? Even though we're 20 days into the new year, how about that?
The best would go to our website, and you can see all of the details about our classes and find one that fits for you.
Rennie Cluver, Executive Director of the Clinton YMCA, our guest in studio this morning. Network News comes your way now on The Morning Show.
WHOW.
The Big 1520 WHOW Clinton 92.3